Good morning. I'm Janine Brown Miller, president of JBM HR Consulting, Inc. and HRWebSource.com.
And I'm Lori Miller of Developing Professionals, your training development SME. Welcome to our HR Tuesday Tips with the Millers, and today we're actually focusing on the job descriptions. So take it over, JVM.
Okay, I'll try to make this exciting. But anyway, it's something that's extremely important. As we're walking you through all this compliance that we need you to keep in tune with, please keep in mind this is another one. This is like what I would say number 2. Handbooks, job descriptions next. So they need to be a priority for any business owner. Again, even if one employee, they need to understand what they're expected to do. So many people say they have job descriptions. So I'll go in and I'll say, okay, let's take a look at them because we work from them all the time. And I'll look and I'll think, I'm not sure really people would understand what they need to do. And then when I talk to their employees, that's in fact true. So we go through and make sure we create one that is functional. So the first thing I identify is a functional job description. What that means is that if I'm a new employee and I'm coming into the job, I should understand what I'm expected to do just by reading the job description. So we need to be sure that they include essential functions, and I'm going to put quotes around essential functions because that's an American with Disabilities Act requirement, and that's terminology that they use. Essential means everything in this job description is absolutely required in order to fulfill this job. So it's not what we desire, but what's required. It needs to include ergonomics for the same reason, ADA. We need to be sure we include only those types of movements and expectations that are required, and those that are required with or without reasonable accommodations. This again is another ADA law. So if I come in and I have to do filing, but I can do it by, if you give me an accommodation, then I'm still qualified for the job. So that's another area that you need to think about. The other key driver is whether a position is exempt or non-exempt. You've probably heard an awful lot about this. There's a lot of audits out there. Small or large business, doesn't matter. They actually like to go to the small businesses because frankly, they expect you to not be in compliance. I tend to focus on small business. And so I know that they don't have these in place. And often they'll be paying people salaried when they're supposed to be hourly. So non-exempt is an hourly position, and they are allowed to have overtime. What drives exempt or non-exempt is the job description content, not the title and not your opinion, but rather what are they doing, because there's very specific IRS guidelines that I would take you through in order to determine the appropriate status of that. So don't be caught with that audit because it's got significant penalties. And then finally, make sure it includes knowledge, skills, and abilities that are required, not just desired. Again, make sure that the job is functional and it's saying something that in order for anyone to function in that job, they must do the following. So after that, you need to be sure that they're clear on it. How would you suggest they move on with job descriptions?
Yeah, you have your job descriptions, and as you indicated, you got your knowledge, skills, and abilities in there. And we have to do it for legal responsibilities, but also to make sure that we're selecting the right employees that has the right competencies, and also how are we helping them grow in those competencies. Let's take example an administrative assistant. Part of the KSAs you may have a communication skill competency listed. So she's on the job, she's doing okay, but there's some issues when it comes to her communication effectiveness. This is where you have to identify, okay, where she's at, where she can grow. Now I've identified a training and a coaching opportunity. We're requiring her to have effective communication skills. She needs to grow in this area, so then we can actually provide some training and coaching in that area. So it's critical throughout the whole life cycle of an employee. When we onboard them, we select them, and their continuous development, those skill competencies are critical. And that foundation is the job description.
Absolutely. Okay, so I think that's it for today.
Yeah, I'm Lori Miller, your training and development SME.
And I'm Janine Brown Miller, your HR go-to person.
So check us out next time when we go to another HR compliance issue. But sit back, relax, we got this.